start running what we got here. Hey YouTube, it's AJ again from AU79 Prospecting. This is the second video in my series where we're going to be fine-tuning my recirculating battery-powered multi-sluice for a big field test coming up. What I'm doing today is, instead of using processed Paydirt that I bought online, I'm actually going to be using the real Paydirt that I'm getting from the clay I work on. The Paydirt is very heavy in clay. The layer I'm working is the top layer of clay with the cobble on top and the cobble inside the clay. So it's really messy. But there's some pretty good gold in it, and I've definitely gotten pickers and stuff from this stuff before. So what I'm going to be doing is we're going to be running it really fast and really hard. The material is classified down to 1/2 inch, and I want to see, running it really hard like I want to in the field, how's my gold retention? Am I losing any gold? And if I can run this really hard, I'm not going to need to buy a recirculating high banker. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so this is the Paydirt we're working with. I got about 3/4 of a bucket here just because I had to carry it a long way to my truck. But it is nasty stuff here. A lot of clay, but it's all broken up. So this will process up pretty good, but because it's not sand, it takes a little bit in the header box to work its way through. So the question is, can I just dump it in there? And do I need to let it break down? How fast can I go? And if I go too fast, how much gold am I losing? Is it worth going a little too fast, losing a touch of gold so I can get another bucket or two in? Might be. So that's what we're going to try and figure out today. So let's go ahead and turn on the recirculating sluice and get started. Alright, so here we go. Here's my first scoop in. And I'll show you, I'll go real slow and show you what I'm talking about. So this stuff is just not going to break down like if I was putting in sand, right? Because it's clay. And so you can see all the cobble and stuff that's just starting to show up now. So when I was doing this, when I was getting this Paydirt, it took a little while to get all that stuff to go through. So I started dumping it in faster, and I started wondering, am I losing gold when I'm doing this? I don't know. Here's another one. It's not going to quite melt away. The other thing I'm trying to do is kind of stir it up a little bit so it's a little more soupy. That's easier to run. But this is it's definitely challenging stuff. tell already the color of the water. Is turning a big time brown gray color, and I'm just a couple scoops in. Alright, well, that took forever. I was trying to go fast, but then I was seeing huge clumps of clay going down, so that's no good. So I was trying to wash it up like I would in a high banker, and I mean, this is just not a high banker, so this was a challenge to say the least. So I'm almost 100% sure there's some gold that went into my catch bucket. So let's go ahead and we're gonna remove the header box, concrete the mat down, and see what we got. Alright, so the area I'm working has a lot of iron ore, so you can see a lot of the red dirt. So you don't see any huge nuggets or anything like that. So that's always a disappointment, but it's a rarity. You're going to find a huge nugget sitting in there, especially after only a 3/4 of a bucket. And it's kind of hard to see the gold now because a couple of flakes I've seen after I concreted the mat sort of fell down. So we're going to go ahead and clean this up, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the mat back in and run my catch bucket here. Because I bet there's some clay that went down through the box and broke down in that catch bucket. So we'll go ahead and run it a second time, and then we'll compare the two and see how much gold I lost. Alright, so here are the concentrates from the initial sluice box run. I'm going to go ahead and pan these out real quick and see what we can get. Alright, so let's take a look at what we found now. So there is I don't know if you can appreciate it, but there is a ton of fine gold, couple bigger pieces over there, but I mean there's probably well over 100 pieces of gold in there, so that's awesome. When I ran the tailings, I didn't find much, just found a couple pieces, but what's noteworthy is look at the size of them. 1, 2, there's a couple of very fine ones that I didn't add in, but I mean, you can compare the size differences between some of the other pieces and this one. So that's interesting. I have a hard time to believe that this sluice wouldn't have caught something that big, so it might have been stuck in a clay ball. That's possible. Well, that's an interesting conclusion. That's a decent amount of gold for just 3/4 of a bucket. I'm pretty stoked with that.